a problem here. And it's more than just Alvin streaming Punisher. When life begins to suck, who's reporting it? Luckily, you got two friends who you won't forget. Coming live, Alvin and Fran on survival. Laughing non-stop, case drops on a cycle. Louder than intrusive thoughts off an iPhone. How they make the world seem bright with the lights off. AFs, it might as well stay up. Lies being told like that dinosaur BS. Magnifying glass to the ground if they don't see us. Having the time, roasting your favorite pizza. Bougie ain't an option, it's the wage. Taking to the grave, add moving to the place. You already know when they take the case. Laugh the pain away, it's affirmative murder.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Affirmative Murder, the equal opportunity true crime comedy podcast. I am Alvin Williams, joined as always by my partner in true crime, Fran and Alvin.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Yeah, man, I'm the mailman. Can't you tell, man? Gonna post on.
What up?
Fran,
Yes.
it seems like every week 2024 will not give up. It is looking to be one for the record books. Aliens have now taken over the skies on the eastern seaboard. I don't know if it's all over the country, but drones have appeared all over the eastern seaboard. They've made their way to Maryland. It started off in New Jersey, I believe. People are in a panic, but they've been told not to shoot at them, even though we don't know what they are. But they're definitely not supposed to be shot at, even though we don't know what the hell's going on. So that, you know, you can lend yourself to make some speculations.
What kind of drones are we talking about?
Apparently they're the sizes of like Nissan Xterras. So
like some. Well, these are not drones then.
they said they were manned drones. These are the reports I'm hearing. Manned drones. So like hovercrafts being flown by
UFOs.
somebody.
Are we going away from the UFO term, or like what's up with this?
If I told you what my Google alerts send to me when these kind of things happen, I think you'd stop being my friend. So we can talk about aliens. Sure, that's fine. Aliens is safe. Mine is there's some stuff about the Pope. I don't even want to get into it. I'm starting to think maybe I am the problem. And in 2025, I'm just I don't believe in any of this stuff, but sometimes it says a lot about you, what people send to you. And
who sent you this?
Well, Google's like, nah, you
Google,
fuck with
like
this,
Google
right?
News or some shit.
Yeah, Google alerts. I have Google alerts on like
alerts.
certain words, like UFOs.
Keywords. So you put those, but you have you have to put that in though, right?
Yeah.
Nah, that's you're a sick guy.
I got my I got my bird alerts. That's for any bird that comes up. That's Bert Kreischer, Bert from Sesame Street. I got several bird alerts out there. When Burt Reynolds died, it was a rough day. My Google alerts were going pretty crazy.
Burt Reynolds. Who's that?
The Bandit? Smoking the Bandit?
No.
Anyway,
who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Ryan Reynolds. I don't know who that is. Sorry.
No relation. At least I could be wrong.
Shout out to Ryan Reynolds.
Shout out to Ryan Reynolds, man.
Is that a person? Did I make that up?
Yeah,
or?
it's a person.
Okay.
Deadpool. Yeah, so aliens, like I said, my Google alerts are going into crazy territory, celestial beings.
Are there photos of these hovercrafts?
There's photos of blinking lights in the sky.
Oh, I'm over it.
But people are telling me, people are saying that they're the size of SUVs.
I want photos, man. I don't want to see blinking lights.
Go out to Cockeysville, man. Apparently they've made their way out to Cockeysville, Maryland. So has
anybody have photos? We have all these cameras. Nobody has taken.
Well, I haven't
photos.
seen any photos of like the full shape of it. I've just seen videos of blinking lights floating across the sky.
That's BS, man.
But they say that they're SUV sized, and the government's talking about it. So it's not just people. It's not just like online fodder. Like the government has put reports out about this, saying like, don't shoot at these things and other things of that nature.
Something's about to happen. It has nothing to do with hovercrafts.
I lean more towards distraction.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It may not happen December of 2024, but January 2025, something got to start off the year.
No, that's not. We have a bad track record with this, so let's not.
Why not keep it going? If we're gonna be undefeated, we're gonna be undefeated. I don't understand what's. Hey, look, man, I'm a winner, man. If it works, and what are we doing? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I don't want to, create the energy that sparks some kind of cataclysmic event like a celebrity passing or aliens coming back or something like that. This podcast has a lot of power, and we need to use it with responsibility.
Hey, it's the most famous business tactic I've learned from Danny DeVito was you drop the bomb and then you soften the blow. So if we hear,
Okay,
like,
so
man,
wildest prediction for 2025. Fuck it.
Wildest prediction.
2025.
Wildest prediction. Okay. I think we did well now since we brought the UFO in the play. I think we find out of other living, what is it, organisms?
Yes.
It's not fish.
Not fish.
Not fish.
Like a sentient, like a person type of being.
In the sea.
In the sea, the mermaid.
In the sea.
Okay. Mine is alien-esque as well.
Okay.
Mine is 2025, maybe not top of, maybe middle of, maybe end of Christmas of next year. Because at some point in 2025, aliens come down, spaceship opens up. It's a dude in a robe. It's Jesus.
He comes back.
He comes back, but he's an alien. Now we got to throw everything out. The Bible, math books, everything's wrong. We got to start from scratch. Jesus was an alien.
Yeah.
And he's black.
He's
got an afro. He's got a pick in it. No, he's straight up like, it's like he's the first man. So he's super black.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Wesley Snipes black, but like a slickness to him of his skin. It says there's no pores in it, almost like a seal.
I don't know how.
And we all came from him.
I don't know how well that goes over though.
Oh, if Jesus is black and an alien, they might start stabbing him. Yeah, people would lose their mind. People would lose their mind.
Look, we know too much. We talk about the space too much. We talk about it a lot. We talk about it being. I've seen it now as like this has been going on lately a lot. That space is a set. It's not real. We know too much. We've talked about too much of outer space, but not enough. We don't know enough about what's in the ocean.
Yeah.
Earth is more, I think, is more covered in water than anything else, right?
It's like 75, 80, it's 90, maybe 90.
Maybe 90. Me we know everything about.
We don't.
What's underwater? No, man.
We can't even go as deep.
We can't even go that far because shit blow up and implode and all kinds of shit.
Shout out to the submarine ass dudes, billionaire dudes in that submarine.
Because that's Earth going.
They were just trying to go see Titanic.
Look, Earth is like, you're not supposed to be down here.
We don't want you to know what's down here. Yeah, stop it.
Sorry, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Mm-hmm. Crinkle,
but
crinkle.
This isn't. We gotta do what we. Hey, Kobe, it's like a ball, the paper ball and trash cans. Like,
bro, did that happen this year? Was that this year?
It's the beginning of the year, right?
I think so. Man, you want to talk about Oceanside or whatever the thing is? It's kicking a year off. Wow.
Accept them. Why don't we just accept them? Why don't we?
What if they don't want to be accepted? What if they think they're better than us? Hey. What if they're not here to be friends? What if they're here to be like, man, we came back for our shit. Like, y'all are fucking this shit. Y'all fucking this planet up, starting to affect us. It's oil spills and shit, messing the water up.
Well, we will be no match. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I think Planet of the Apes is a dope movie. If it really went down like that, we should be really sad that we lost two monkeys. Even if they get smart, like, we should know how to work weapons. Yeah. We should be able to, and that's how, if there is a smarter life form out there, that's how they should feel about us. Like, let's just say all the shit I, speculate about and watch videos about aliens, genetic splicing that made us into what we are. If they made us into this, what kind of shit did they have? Yeah. And they did it thousands of years ago. Yeah. They made us this cavemen when we were like, they made us this that long ago. So what kind of shit do they have?
But they probably was like, they're so far ahead of us. They were like, well, this is going to go south. So let's get out of here.
They came back. Now they come back to check on the project.
Let's leave this experiment here. We're going to dip out, 20 million light years away or whatever. And then we just let them do their thing.
Mm-hmm. But now they came back and look at it. They got this man in the office. His skin is weird and orange, and he's
weird hair.
Yeah. Then the other dude that's in there right now, he's dead. Like, but he's a zombie. Then you got that man over there in North Korea. Joe Byron. Joe Byron.
They about to put my timeline recently. Take me out to dinner. Hey.
I love you, Joe Byron.
Look, as bad as COVID was. What a time, though, right?
Man, the memes. It was a meme-a-palooza, a smorgasbord of memes. High level entertainment, man. Hey, listen, again, I don't want to talk about a lot of the stuff we talked about last week as far as we can go, the Diddy faucet it runneth over constantly. But Jay-Z has implored a tactic that I think we will start to see even more. Jamie Foxx also follows suit, which is I don't know that nigga like that. This is the new tactic that everybody's going to start coming out with. Man, it's the just because you work with somebody doesn't mean y'all friends. Y'all don't have coworkers that y'all got pictures with, but that's not your friend.
No,
we're gonna. I feel the same way. Like I haven't been to any of my coworkers houses for like a cookout or anything. Honestly, so I don't know, but apparently that's a normal analogy that can be used for like everyday people to be like, I get that y'all were business associates and had a working relationship, but y'all weren't friends.
I mean, what else is he supposed to say? Number one.
Facts.
So I mean, like
he's in jail right now. Throw him under the bus. Yeah. I mean, yes. Kick him
if I'm Diddy,
down.
I'll go. Oh, that's what we doing.
If he has the dirt, they're all making a terrible mistake,
and I think he does. If he can go, he has the car where he can go. I'm gonna play this out.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm facing whatever.
If I don't get out, everybody's going down.
Everybody's going. I'm turning the whole shit down.
And Fran, that's a great point that you make, and that is why I think P. Diddy beats most of his charges and serves like a 10-year sentence or something like that. He will not spend the rest of his life in prison because there are a lot of people out there whose interests go against him having nothing to lose.
Yep.
P. Diddy will not get 100 years in prison or something crazy that he won't be able to just eat because apparently he's in there chilling.
Yeah. So that list of tapes, I think it's a real thing.
Yeah. Yo, Playboy, push the button. Like from the jail cell, I fully see him having some kind of apocalyptic button. Like, man, hey, fuck it. 50 years, man. Hey, Playboy, no, hit that.
He's not doing 50. He's not doing 50.
Playboy, hit that button. All the shit's coming out. So I don't see that happening. So I think that a lot of the people, some people had some things to say about our commentary on the Jamie Foxx special. Whether you thought it was funny or not, that was not really my.
What's wrong with that?
Exactly. I'm not that. They have their opinion. I have my opinion, but I'm reinforcing my opinion by saying whatever you think about that special, Jamie Foxx and Jay-Z, now that he's in some actual real kind of situation, are trying to put out there into the world, I don't know him like that. And that's not by coincidence. They're distancing themselves from him.
Yeah.
And my point is, I think that he has all the tapes, or just his mouth. If he wanted to do a tell-all, I think that all of these dudes know. Now, I'm not saying Jay-Z did anything, but I'm also not saying he did nothing. I'm not saying, I don't think he did what this is. This is starting to kind of crumble a little bit. So I'm not sure if he did this, but that doesn't mean he did nothing. And if he was doing these things at a Diddy party, I think Diddy knows some of the things.
I think Diddy is smart enough. He's a businessman. I think he's smart enough to where he's like, the shit I'm doing is obviously he has some type of moral compass. He knows like this shit is terrible.
I know nobody would want to see. I wouldn't want anybody to see me doing this.
Right. I think he's smart enough to go like, well, I'll record everything. He's living that, man. I'll just record.
This is leverage.
This is like one of the most important things in business, which he does. He's like, I'll just record everything.
Yeah.
Just shit goes down.
I got Rick Ross over here doing cocaine off of a little person's butt. So I think a lot of people are trying to distance themselves, and they're rolling the dice on. I'm gonna distance myself, and hopefully he doesn't get anything too heavy that would make him not give a fuck to start telling on people. And I think they all have gotten this is all, people get these phone calls way before we see the shit on TMZ.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if Jay-Z knew P. Diddy was about to go to jail for 100 years and be like, "Oh, I'll tell to get that reduced," I don't think he'd be even putting out statements and stuff. I think Jay-Z would have left the country. If he really had some dirt on these people, we'd see people moving a lot differently if they thought that he could say something. A lot of people still are not saying anything, that's very telling too.
He is such an evil man. From when he's playing Joker, an Halloween dude.
He never broke out of it?
He's an evil dude. He's like, no, I'm gonna just chill. He's not in like everybody know he's not in like, he's like in one
jail.
of those.
He's in jail. People are lined up to do favors for him. I hear he's having a great time.
He's having a great time.
There's boys everywhere. There's
He want them
commissary out the
jails.
wazoo.
He want them out the Stewart jails.
Yeah, pretty much. And he also, for a little small thing people don't notice that he did, some people don't anyway, he came to New York right before he turned himself in and took the day to consolidate power. Went uptown to Harlem and talked to people to get tapped in with all the people like the gangs and took pictures and paid people and everything. He did all that. That's why you see him the day he got locked up, he was all around taking pictures of people. He was going to go meet with all the Muslims like, hey man, when I get in there, make sure they look out for me. And he did all of that. So he's in there having the ball. I mean, he'd rather be like at some villa. He'd rather be in some villa in Mexico, I'm sure. But like, he's having as good of a time you can have in prison for sure. In jail, he's not in prison yet, but in jail, he's having a ball. Food, whatever the food is you can get. People washing his underwear. He's fine. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see play out for sure. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna get into some fucked up shit. Some fucked up shit that I'm really, really interested in this week. This is a little different, and I'm really excited to dive into it. So stick around, and we'll be back in a second. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Incogni. Every year, both the number and scope of data breaches worldwide are rising. According to the 2022 Annual Data Breach Report by the Identity Theft Resource Center, the number of victims has gone up nearly 41.5% from 2021. These data thieves are after your personal information, including your name, your aliases, your social security number, login credentials, home address, location history, online activity, and much more. And they're selling it to the highest bidder. And this is where Incogni steps in. Incogni reaches out to the data brokers who are out to purchase your information, and they do it on your behalf. And they request that your personal data be removed. Since many data brokers continue collecting your personal information even after they've removed it, Incogni also does its best to ensure that your data stays off the market by conducting repeated removal requests. This means that whenever a new record pops up on a data broker website, Incogni will automatically take care of that. That's what makes their yearly subscription especially advantageous. Incogni will continue to protect your data privacy for as long as you use the service. It's so easy to look people up these days. We're more accessible than ever, which makes us more vulnerable than ever as well. Incogni's out to protect us. And if you go to incogni.com, incogni.com/affirmative murder and use the promo code affirmative murder, you'll get 60% off an annual plan. Your data and your personal information are more valuable than they've ever been. Do what you can to protect it by signing up for Incogni today. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Hormone Harmony. Could your daily routine be full of hormone disruptions? There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our environment right now. In our food, our water, the air we breathe, the clothes we wear, our skin, and they all mess with our hormones. The good news is, people don't have to suffer through any of it anymore. Because now, there's Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. PMS symptoms, menopause symptoms, poor sleep and feeling tired all the time, a reduced desire for intimacy. Oh yeah, Hormone Harmony can help with all those things. In the over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony, one of the biggest benefits women mention is that they feel like themselves again. Then for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com, happymammoth.com, and just use the promo code AMP at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code AMP for 15% off today. Get those hormones in harmony with Hormone Harmony. All right, back to the show.
Developing in Kansas City, Kansas tonight, the FBI today arrested former KCK police detective Roger Golubski. The indictment alleges he sexually assaulted 2 victims between 1998 and 2002.
We got like a sisterhood now because of what we all have been through.
I knew he was blackmailing me, but I didn't know how to tell somebody really for real.
Yeah, when you talk to them about him, it's like the Grand Reaper have came.
He had a high-ranked position. That was to keep people safe and to protect people. But now he used that against he used it.
Roger Golubski was born on December 26, 1952, to Josephine and Edward Golubski, which is, this name is disgusting. I don't know if it's Polish or what it is, but it just doesn't come out of your mouth very. It's very like, it feels like a snot or like a loogie in your mouth.
Yeah. Also, Roger is such an old man name. It's like,
it's your father's name. Show some respect.
That's he's an old man. That's one of those names.
This Roger's like, name's old and lame. Don't be disrespectful.
I didn't say it was lame. I said it was old. It's one of those names where it's like, we won't see that name in the future.
You think it's done?
You know that little, huh?
You think it's up for Roger?
Yeah. You know that little graph? You know when you Google a word and they show that little graph of how much it's been used since?
Yeah.
That Roger's going on his way down.
It's on the decline?
It's on the decline.
You think it's up for Rogers?
Yeah.
Damn.
Nobody names that child Roger?
It's like Bertha.
Now? Yeah.
It was a good name once upon a time. But anyway, so Golubski was once interested in becoming a Catholic priest, but instead decided to become an officer with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, or the KCKPD. Too much. He took this job on in 1986. He spent 35 years, and he had garnered himself a reputation of racism and corruption.
And he did 35 years as a law enforcement?
So you get all the shit. He's pensioned out and everything, you know, or he was.
But I mean, like you this negative, we have this negative connotation to your name, but you've been doing this for 35 years.
You sound surprised.
I just
yes, he's had multiple incidences of harassing people and racism, and then he continued to do his job. What is the
have a long lasting career?
Yeah, is there something that you're not clear on?
You know what? I'm not actually. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like when you hear it, when you say it to yourself, you go, "Damn! Like, how's that possible?"
Mm-hmm. That he used his badge to terrorize citizens on the street and then continue to do his job for almost 40 years. Yeah, that's crazy. Except it's not. It's just another day on the job. I'll never forget. Listen. This is not the police bashing podcast, but there's a video that, you know, over the last couple of years, the police, the hot topic and whatever, and there was a guy arresting somebody. I think it was Florida. Mm-hmm. Go figure. And like a woman stepped in to be like, "Hey man, you're being kind of rough." Another police officer, and the way he pushed this woman, like, "Are you trying to stop me from being overly physical at my job? Get the fuck!" He pushed her. Other police officers had to step in and be like, "Hey, go take a walk, bro. Chill out." Really? Like, even when you talk about bad apple, whatever, like a good apple went to do something, and the bad apple.
This was a cop that tried to.
Yeah, the cop was like, "Yo,
intervene."
Hey. Yeah, the cop was like, "Yo," he was like, "Get the fuck! Don't ever fucking touch me while I'm doing." I was like, "Oh my." It's nothing.
Wow.
This is, hey man, license and registration. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if you can't calm them down, that's crazy. Yeah. Another person in the uniform being like, "Hey, relax. Don't ever tell me I have more stripes than you." I was like, "Nah, this is crazy."
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he went into a whole thing.
He put out the seniority card.
Yeah, I was like, "Nah, this is crazy. Like, you can't even, as a person, you can't talk person to person, be like, yo, hey, you're getting kind of like relax, like to what is the word? De-escalate. Like another police officer couldn't de-escalate. I was like, so there's talking is futile, and I've learned that over the last couple of years. Like, just take your ticket or whatever the thing is and fight it in court. Because all of that, hey man, you don't got to scream at me. We can talk like people. No, you can't. It's just, that's not a thing. You do not have the position to try to talk to an officer like that, and they listen. Yeah,
but this is America, though.
Hey, listen, Karen, you go ahead and you take whatever the fuck you go ahead and hey, I have amendment rights. All right, okay.
I'm an American citizen. I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want.
Get on the fucking hood of the car. All right, okay. I wish you would give
a black person.
This is America, man. Hey, you ever heard of the Constitution? Man, open the door.
Hey, man, look, I think black people need to ride around with Trump kits, man. Look, throw a Trump kit in your back. You get pulled over, man, throw a hat on, put the Trump bubble head on top of your dashboard or something. Hey, I bet you it work.
Lean to look out of the window. Evening, brother. Oh, I had no idea. Hey, man, my bad. Sorry. Hey, just slow down a little bit. Hey, man. MAGA.
You throw your shoe up. You throw your gold Trump shoes up on the.
Oh man,
on the thing.
No, I have them hanging off the rear view window like baby shoes.
Like baby shoes.
Like license registration, please. You dang them like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you not see what's hanging from? I know that this is like an infraction, hanging stuff from your rearview mirror, but did you see what they are?
Yeah.
Are those the Make America Fire Again ones? Yes, they are.
Hey, might leave with a warning, man. Get the Trump kit in your car, man. Tell me. It might save a lot.
You might get invited out for a drink.
Yeah.
You've never been in a bar with the police bar and felt comfortable.
Police bar? No, I'm good on that.
You just got to keep the hat on.
Yeah, keep the hat on though.
Don't take the hat off.
I seen this dude on my route who has he didn't have it on, but he has the Trump visor with the
exclusive.
hair.
Oh, with the hair piece.
With the hair.
Oh, he's exclusive. No, he's exclusive. It's such a cult. Man. This shit is crazy, bro. Oh my God.
That's got a little good blonde shit around. I said, where the hell did he get that from?
And where are you wearing it to? Where are you putting that on and where are you going in that?
At the Christmas party, man. That's what they were.
It's so crazy, bro. Like, listen, if you fucking wanted lower taxes, cool. But if you coming out, I've seen people coming out. They coming out to their wedding.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, this is sickness, bro. This is sickness.
We talked about this. I have never seen anything like this before. Ever. This is insane, man. He's probably makes more money on merch than his actual duty to be president.
For sure. That's why they keep giving him commendations. Like, he turned down the salary. Like, every week this man, we got the new Trump salamis. Every week he's coming out with a new thing.
He know how to make some money.
I would turn down $250,000 too. It's like, bro, I'm making M's. What do you mean?
He know how to make some money, bro.
Yeah, I'll turn that down. It looks good or whatever. Then I'm like, we got the new Trump bow ties. Come get your Trump bow ties. Only 50 in existence. Every week every week is an infomercial. He does infomercials. That's insane. We live in the craziest time, bro. It's wild.
The craziest time.
This man selling watches to people. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what happened to dignity?
The president has tennis shoes. He has his own gold tennis shoes. It's like $500. It's like, it's very limited Trump shoes. Only cost you $450.
The MAGAs. Get them while they're hot. You're like, man, this is crazy, bro.
We have the new Trump earring. Is like, it got like blood on it. It's like, we have the new Trump earrings.
The new Trump earring.
When I was attempted to be assassinated, he's like,
get your Trump ear patch. You can look just like Trump.
It's like Nellie's Band-Aid. But it goes.
But they did that though. It's so beyond parody, bro. They showed up to the RNC. They all had patches on their ears, bro. Like they were like,
that's crazy.
It was on some hot in here shit, man. Sweat and suit, bro. It was crazy. Oh. Yeah, man. He's more hot in these streets than Nelly.
This can't be real, man.
Pimp juice, man.
This literally can't be real. Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if he might not have made the commercial, but he might have been selling the Trump ear patch, his brand. The same gauze I used.
Same gauze. Trump gauze. You're selling Trump gauze. He gotta put his name on He gotta put his name on everything.
Get your Trump gauze. They're calling it Traws. They're saying it's better than medical grade gauze. It's even better. It's American made. It's the best gauze. It's Traws. Oh my God, get me out of this country. Oh. Oh, get me out of here.
Traws is nuts.
People are saying it stops bleeding immediately. It's the best you've ever seen. It's Traws.
Oh my God, man. That dude is such a joke, man. Golly.
Oh my God.
He became president. It's so nuts.
Twice.
I'm going back to back. God,
they said I couldn't do it. I two-peated. I did. They said I never could. I two-peated.
There's no Michael Jordan without Trump. He's like comparing himself to fucking
some people say they didn't even say two-peats till Trump won twice. And then everybody started saying two-peat. All right, okay. Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, so
Sorry about that. That was funny.
So now we're going to dive into a little bit of history of that racism and corruption from Roger Golubski. We're going to start off in the 80s. A woman named Tina Peterson worked at a shelter for battered women in Kansas City, Kansas. She called the Kansas City Police Department twice to report allegations of Golubski abusing numerous women at the shelter. So he's going to a battered women's shelter and harassing them. Scum of the earth.
Yeah. So this has nothing to do with just racism.
No, this is predominantly about sexual violence. Yeah, Roger Golubski is like different. Like he's a real piece of shit.
With that name, how do you?
He had no choice but to be like a human booger, and that's what he was. Like just like a really disgusting person. So Lamont McIntyre's mother, Rose McIntyre, said Golubski threatened to arrest her and her boyfriend if she did not comply with his sexual demands.
Wow.
We heard a story like this similar a few years ago. It was a big buff Asian dude. I can't remember his name though. And he was going around basically arresting sex workers and being like, "I'll let you go if you suck my dick."
Wow.
And it was like, I mean, it was like 100. It was like he had like 100 charges. It was crazy. It was like standard practice for him. Like, I'm about to check out. Let me go ahead and pick up a sex worker or any woman and just feel her up, do what I want to, just, whatever, get off and go home.
Wow. Hey, so is it? So some people don't even. I feel like that when you hear that, being in law enforcement has nothing to do with protecting citizens. It's like, I have power now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's an old stereotype, and there's a lot of police officers out there who do their job and want to protect and serve, and there's a family legacy and all these things. But there's an old stereotype of like, oh, you must not have been popular in high school. That's what a lot of people say to police officers when they feel like they're getting on a power trip, because it's like now you get a chance to, be the boss. Yeah. And nobody listens to you in your everyday life, but now you put your badge on, it happens. Yeah. There's a bunch of videos of these like incidences where you go, you're doing a lot. Like it's not necessary for you to come at people like this. And it feels like you're like, I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm in charge, you're not. Like that, and period. I'm not here to do what's right. I'm here to get control and assert my dominance over you. And that's no way to police. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people who do choose to go that route. Yeah. And some people and some officers, I would assume, would respond with, that is the backlash of a society that doesn't treat us with respect. And so we don't get to have a back and forth and have a communal effort because people already don't trust us from the outset. And so we have to come in a little bit more assertive to get control of the situation because people don't even like when we show up. Yeah. So it's a chicken or the egg situation for me. Right. And for me, I tend to go, well, they don't just not like you for no reason. Like it's not like we just made up. It's not we just made up. Like you ever heard of Rodney King? Like we didn't just make up distrust. So
that's true.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm not that dude. That black dude that's on ESPN. He's always giving motivational speeches. He gets a little tiring to me. His name's like Oche or
I know you're talking about.
I don't want to
right? Don't they call him Ocho? No.
Yeah, they call him something like that, but not Ocho Cinco. Fuck with
right. Yeah.
But he's always doing things. And a few years ago, he did like a sat down with police officers, and people didn't like the way he handled it or whatever. He felt whatever. But I would say I would argue, one, there's black cops, but I would argue that a lot of the responses that police have, they should be able to hear how they sound like black people who are fighting for police reform, and when they say like, hey man, listen, I'm a police officer, you shouldn't judge me just off of my uniform when I pull up to a scene and just automatically make assumptions about me. It's like, this sounds familiar. Like, I think I saw this TV show before. It's called Being Black in America. So, like I hear a lot of those arguments when I hear police officers be like, it's not bad apples and this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, that's how we feel too. But, I don't think you're hearing the irony in what you're saying. So, but it's bad apples like Roger Golubski that, keep the issues of distrust.
His name is gross.
It makes me my throat hurt to say it. So, Golubski allegedly sexually assaulted Rose McIntyre at the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. So, like in the jail cell, and then harassed her for weeks, saying he would pay her for a long-term sexual agreement. She moved and changed her phone number. So he was trying to put women on the payroll and all types of, it was crazy. So on April 15th, 1994, Nico Quinn, who was 21 years old at the time, saw a man dressed in all black wearing a black hat who approached her in a 1987 powder blue Cadillac DeVille. She then heard gunshots as the man shot into the car. She saw the man shoot 3 times. One of the men in the car was her 21-year-old cousin, Daniel Quinn, and her distant cousin, 34-year-old Donald Ewig. She told police officer W.K. Smith that she would be able to recognize the shooter if she saw him again. So at the time of this shooting, the then 17-year-old Lamont McIntyre was charged with the murders. Now keep in mind, Lamont, his mom, Rose, has already been sexually assaulted by Roger Golubski. And he tried to make her a deal and all this type of shit, made her move. So now her son's tied up in a suspect in a shootout. So
does he do his job? I feel like he's doing everything but doing his job.
Yeah, he saw this and was like, wait, Rose's son got in trouble? I'm gonna use this as some kind of leverage when I give her a call. At least maybe, I don't know. We'll continue. Maybe that's what he did. Or maybe he did his job and he solved the crime. So at the time of the shooting, 17-year-old Lamont McIntyre was charged with the murders of these 2 young men who were shot in the blue Cadillac DeVille.
Wow.
Like I said, so the young lady who was on the corner was able to, she identified him. Nico Quinn said that Golubski forced her to give a false testimony, saying that Lamont McIntyre was the shooter. Days after Detective Golubski and another officer came to her house with a photo lineup of 5 young black men. So the 5 pictures of young black men that they came over to this young woman's house to identify with like a photo lineup were all McIntyres. Like every picture, it was 5 pictures,
all
and
they
were all McIntyre family members. So it was Lamont, his brother, and cousins.
I'm like, what's going on here? Why is it?
Yeah, it's like, are these people all related? He's like, nah, you know, black dudes just all got the same last name sometimes. You know, say some racist shit. Then you say it so quick. You say it so quick that the other person's like, okay, yes. Well, it's not that they look alike. It's that their name is. They're like, yeah, I mean, which one is it? Okay, well, I don't really know if it's anybody. Well, it's somebody. It's somebody on one. It's somebody on this paper, and I suggest you pick one. And that easy, that quickly, the tension changes, the energy shifts, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, let me say something. Golubski wrote a report saying that Nico wasn't sure, but the shooter could be number 3, Lamont McIntyre. So gave himself a little bit of leeway. Like she said, she wasn't exactly sure, but she thinks it could be number 3, which gives them probable cause to continue to harass Lamont McIntyre. Because now he's like the primary suspect.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, this young lady met again with Golubski. She was scared due to pressure from the cops to name Lamont as the shooter and people on the street who didn't want her to snitch. So it was like she was getting it from both sides. She said Golubski said that if she identified Lamont, things would go better for her and he could help her find a new apartment to be safe in.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Of course.
She believed that?
What else? I mean, she doesn't really have many options when she's not being harassed by this guy. It's people on the street like, hey, man, are you going to go snitch? So it's like, I got to get out of here some kind of way. And you take whatever lifeline gets offered to you, I guess. She said she never identified Lamont as the shooter, but Golubski would later say that she did. Just straight up lying. In September 1990,
isn't that supposed to be in the written? Have a written confession for that, or like what? I don't.
Sure, that sounds like that's what the legal process is, but he did things the Golubski way. They
don't vet the whatever the fuck he's saying.
That's old Golubski. He's got 100% closed case rate. It's like, well, these are his tactics. Of course, he always closes the case. He pins it on somebody that didn't do it.
Yeah, liar.
He's like, I got instincts. He's like, yeah, okay. So in September 1994, she was called to testify in the trial. While in the witness room, she told the Wyandotte County prosecutor, Tara Moorhead, that Lamont couldn't possibly be the person who killed her cousin. Lamont was too tall, dark-skinned, and has a close-cut haircut, not braids like she saw the shooter have. That's pretty open and shut. I mean, it's a completely different description. She said, Moorhead said, we're going to do what we went over. You're going to do this, or I'm going to send your black ass to jail, and you will never see your kids again. That's like the most racist sentence. And he didn't even say any kind of slurs. That is such a racist thing to say to somebody when they're like, hey, I'm trying to do the right thing. Could you imagine if that in that one commercial, I don't know if it was a Got Milk commercial where the kid's like, Coach, I hit the ball when it went out of bounds. And the coach was like, if you don't shut the fuck up and go out there and
if you shut your black ass up.
That's what he said. That would have been even crazier. If you don't shut your black ass up and get out there and do what you were born to do and play basketball and win the game, or you will never see your kids again. He's in high school as a kid. That would have been a crazy commercial.
You would never see your dad again. Oh, wait. Like, all right.
I'm going to go over that again. So this young woman went up to this officer that was in the witness room, like the waiting room for the witnesses, and was like, excuse me, sir, this is wrong. Like, this isn't the guy. I can't go out there and testify that he did it. The guy that I saw shoot had braids. This guy's taller. There's just no way he could be the guy. He went, we're going to do whatever the fuck we told you to do. And if you don't, I'm going to send your black ass to jail for the rest of your life. Your kids are going to end up in this foster system. It's mad evil.
How do you react to that?
You go out there and you do what they told you to do, I guess. I don't want to go to jail for the rest of my life.
I mean, but how can they put it? I mean, what can they say?
That's the thing, bro. Like, it doesn't, that doesn't matter. Exactly. Like, most people aren't going to take it to the next step. Like, you just told me what the threat is. I don't want that threat. You got it.
Yeah. Especially when kids are involved.
Exactly. So this young lady said that Golubski echoed the threat of the other officer about taking her children.
Yeah.
Her coerced testimony helped put Lamont in jail. Lamont McIntyre was convicted of the double murder that he did not commit in a case that was investigated by Roger Golubski. His mother, Rose, says this was in retaliation for her refusing his sexual advances. So not only is he a sexual assaulter and a terrible cop, he's vindictive. So if you wrong him in some way that he feels, he's going to use the system against you to put you in prison. That's terrifying. So now we're in 1998. A victim referred to as SK alleged that Golubski first started abusing her when she was 13 and continued for 4 more years.
Wow.
She alleges that she was sexually assaulted in his police vehicle and was raped by a river where he threatened to dump her body.
This is a sick guy,
man. Majorly sick. A victim referred to as OW alleged that Golubski sexually assaulted her after arresting her 2 14-year-old sons and later raped her.
Was this like a do something for me for like your kids?
It sounds like it, possibly, yeah. Which is sick. Like, he arrests juveniles and he's like, where do you live? And you, again, when you talk about, because we talked about, I got a really cool email. I'm going to read it on a next minisode. I don't know if it was cool, but it was, I talked about Coleman, Alabama, the place that's allegedly a sundown town.
Yeah.
I got an email from a dude who went to college in like Tuscaloosa or something, like somewhere near there. And he was like, I had an incident that happened to me. That place is a sundown town, right? So these are the kind of stories that go around and then cause the distrust. Because you should be like, oh, the police are going to bring my kids to the house. Like, that's better than them processing them. Good. Oh, the police showed up. That's how the feeling should be.
Right.
But instead, when black people see police pull up in front of their house, in a lot of situations, and a lot of black people, not all black people are monolithic, but a lot of black people see police pull up in front of your house, and your kids in the back seat. It's not like oh, thank you, officer, for bringing my son home. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Like, what happened? It's already a apprehension and a defense.
Yeah.
And these kind of stories are what lead to that feeling. It's genetic trauma, bro. It's passed down. I can't tell you why I feel the way I feel when I see a police in my rear view, why I tighten up and I make sure my seatbelt's on and I turn my radio down, and I can't tell you. It's like I can't just boil it down to I'm a bitch. It's something in my it's something in my bones that's like, I'm not getting pulled over today.
On my way home yesterday, I was driving and these 2 cops came past me. And they had their lights on, but they was like driving fast. I guess they was going somewhere. I don't know. But like, I did have my phone in my hand, but still. I thought they was about to pull me over. My heart felt like it was in my stomach.
Yeah.
I thought they was about to pull me over. I was like, that feeling, it's so hard to explain to somebody who's never in situations like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt my heart just completely dry. I think he was about to pull me over.
And I'm not saying there are not white people that out there that
Right.
don't fear the police the same way. And I'm not saying that maybe we shouldn't or you should. I'm not here to have that conversation because done. It's 2020. It's almost 2025. I'm done trying to explain and defend anything to anybody. If you feel like we're wrong for being afraid of the police, that's your business. I don't care. But my point is, overwhelmingly, in my experience as a black person, you'd be hard pressed to find a person that's like just slightly inconvenienced at the sight of police officers and thinking that they might get pulled over, or not having any concern about being pulled over when they see police officers. Like, I don't know. That's not an experience I've had where it's like you see police officers around you and you don't even notice.
Yeah.
Like, that's not I can't speak to any cousins, relatives, any kind of way that I go, when we see police officers in our vicinity while we're driving and operating a vehicle, shit changes.
Yeah.
Hey, take that air freshener out of the glove box. Go ahead and spray that around the car. We weren't even smoking weed. You just like spray the shit around, like make it smell clean and not illegal in here. Make my hands, turn the radio down. Make sure my high beams are. You start doing shit. You never even touch the little switch on the left side of the steering wheel. You never even touch that. You just start making sure. Let me make sure my low beams and make sure my floodlights aren't on. Like, I don't think that's everybody's experience. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But that's just been my experience throughout my life.
That's crazy,
shit gets real tense when the lights aren't even on. It's just right. You just see it riding around you. You guys both stop at a red light. I might fall back. I make sure I'm not parked. I'm not at the red light right next to the cop car.
Yeah.
Which might be more suspicious, but I'm like, I don't even want you to look at me. Don't look at me. Like, I don't even want any issues.
Yeah. I said it was a video I seen TikTok. I meant to send it to you, but I forgot. It was a guy. He was like, 5 ways to show your wallet to a cop. I don't know if you saw this. He was like, he was pulling it out of his pocket. He's pulling
like all fast and crazy. Yeah.
That was
got
funny.
your hand in the jacket pocket, like it's
he put it from
pointed
behind
out.
his back. Was like, I said, no, that is nuts.
Let me just reach for this wallet, very quick and jolty, and with a very panicked look on my face.
Yeah, you be dead in no time.
We went off on a little rant there after we said that a woman says she got raped after Golubsky brought her 2 14-year-old boys home to her and then sexually assaulted her. Now we're in 2002. This is when Golubsky, after decades of all the things we just discussed about, was promoted to captain of the KCKPD.
How?
He reached the highest levels of government in his profession.
Raping women.
You can become president doing that. Anyway, so Golubsky retired from the KCKPD and collected a full pension in 2010.
Wow.
So he became captain in 2002, went on 8 more years as captain, and then retired peacefully with all his decorations and money with a full pension in 2010. Wow. So in 2016, Golubsky fully retired from the Edwardsville Police Department. So he retired from his department and then moved to he relocated like a pope. Or not a pope, like a Catholic priest. He got relocated after retiring. So he retired. So this is crazy. Like I said, so he retired in 2010 and collected his full pension and then continued to work for 6 more years. He just moved to a different precinct and continued to work. So he was retired, collecting his pension, and was collecting the paycheck for 6 more years, getting that bread.
See, this is why sometimes I wake up in the morning before I go to work and I go, why don't I just go do illegal shit to become rich? Because other people can get away with it.
I'm out here with a moral compass and no bag.
And no bag. What about I throw my moral bags away and so I can get this real money back?
Bro, listen, the Hawk Tuah girl conned all of her fans out of millions of dollars, and I'm over here being like, well, maybe we shouldn't sell shirts. I don't want people to think we're just trying to bilk them for money. Man, she fucking pulled the rug up on the people. Was like, I'm gonna take my $1,000 and turn it into $5,000. She was like, wow. Well, guys, thanks for the money. I'm see you tomorrow.
Wow.
Got up out of there.
I just don't.
You're right, bro. Man, maybe we should start doing illegal shit. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
How do you Bitcoin a
How you get in?
podcast?
How you how you meme coin a
How do you
podcast?
meme coin? Guys, the Francie Grace coin is going live right now. It's live right now. We're coming in at $3 a
is a
share, and we're
good
gonna
damn
ride
idea.
this thing
That
to
is
the
a-
moon.
Brilliant idea. I just don't get it, man. These people, this guy moved up the ladder and was just a terrible human being.
Awful.
Wow.
It
don't
makes
like
you
to
think:
do
is
that
that what
shit.
you have to be to move up the ladder? Like, show me opposite.
We
Show me
have-
something to the contrary.
No, there's no show me. We have plenty of examples of people just being a shitty person
Mhm.
and moving up the ladder. There's a couple of black people sprinkling there somewhere.
Yeah, for
P.
sure.
Diddy and Bill Cosby and those people. But
And there's
crazy,
also
man.
let's also be clear, within this institution, this corrupt institution that upholds
Yeah.
a lot of white supremacist values in policing, there are black police chiefs. Because sometimes that's the argument. Like, well, just because they're following the rules that they were told to follow, just because they're in a position of power, doesn't mean it's not a racist structure. Just because there's a black dude running it.
Yeah.
You know.
Who had to work 10 times as hard to get there.
Mm-hmm. And don't let them try to clean this shit up. They will
Yeah.
get him out of there.
Don't fuck up.
Yeah,
'cause
don't-
you
yeah.
already got a short leash.
Yeah.
We already got some questions you up here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Telling us what to do.
Like,
Don't-
yes, sir, I guess. Rolling, like, I'm not calling him sir.
They don't like that.
so that's a very general, broad statement. I'm sure there's police officers out there who call their police chief sir and don't like vomit in their mouth when they say it. I'm making
said
it's
it, not
comedy,
me.
folks. We're making jokes. We're just joking. Everybody gets it. Bang, bang, bang. Everybody gets it. So anyway, Golubsky officially fully retired in 2016. And in 2017, after serving 23 years in prison, Lamont McIntyre was freed from prison and awarded a certificate of innocence and $1.5 million from
That's
the
it?
state of Kansas. So where's my phone? Real quick, Fran, because I want to do the math on this. Because, like, I'm not saying that we have a crazy high earning potential, but we got $1.5 million divided by 23 years. That's $65,000 a year. That's a nice job.
In a lump sum, 20-some years
In
later.
a lump sum, they probably hit it with the taxes.
Oh yeah, of
So
course.
20. So when now
should be tax free.
the argument somebody could have is Lamont. He was 17 years old, right? He was a kid. Would he have grown up, gotten a job, and been working a job that would pay him $65,000 a year, where he would have put the potential to have earned $1.5 million over 23 years? I still say this point is moot because they stole 23 years of his life. It doesn't really matter what he could have earned in that time. It was his life to live.
That's not enough.
It's not, but that's my point. Is like, this is not enough. This is not enough money at all. Is there enough? I would argue no to that as well. But I know it's not $1.5 million for taking 23 years of my life.
Yeah.
If it's me, I'm like, I want $1 million for every year.
Maybe that's fair. And I want an apology. I want
him. I want Roger Golubsky to apologize to me and my mother publicly. So yeah,
I want to start ex law enforcement a boxing league, so I can just I can beat his ass. That's crazy.
It's insane. $1.5 million.
And I bet an apology would mean more to him than that damn money.
I bet it would. And you know what's sad? He'd have an easier time getting that $1.5 million than getting an apology.
Yep. That's why. Apologize.
Well, because to apologize is to admit fault. And then you got to start looking at all his cases and everything, which ends up happening anyway. But like, if you straight up say, you know what? Yeah, man, I did that on purpose and I put you in jail when I knew you weren't guilty. Then it's like, oh my God, what?
Yeah.
You can't admit that. It's almost more disrespectful to admit that.
You think so?
Because I got to kill you now. Because if you go, hey man, I messed up. I thought you were the guy and you weren't. I can still be mad at you. But if you go, oh yeah, man, your mom, I wanted to have a sexual agreement with her and she said no, so I framed you. I'm gonna John Wick you now. Like, I'm going to hunt you down. I have to kill you. You know, like, I have to find a way to get my revenge. That's a crazy thing for you to say to my face or in a letter.
That's
or
true.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was. And he already had sexually assaulted his mom. So you sexually assaulted my mom. when she didn't want to let you keep doing it, you framed me for a double murder and put me away in prison for 23 years. I'm going to murder you. I'm going to become what you said I was because you left me no choice.
That's crazy. So anyway, way this is going to end.
Yeah.
And it's going to be you that be ending. It ain't going to be me.
For sure.
Because they already did 20 years.
That's the other point. Like, obviously, that's me saying this, like, I'm a fucking civilian, whatever. But think about what 23 years in prison makes you into.
Yeah.
You got to go insane to survive in there. So you come out a whole different person. So the idea of like rationale and forgiveness and all these things, maybe it came over you, but it also could have made you awful. The things you've seen and done. I listen to prison stories on YouTube all the time, bro. It's some of the most terrible things I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like nightmarish things. People putting baby oil in water and then heating it up thousands of degrees, so then they throw it on you so it sticks to your skin and burns it off. Horrible things. And it's like, oh yeah, I lied, my bad. Yeah, your mom pissed me off, so I stole 23 years of your life. And I just stole it. I put you in hell. I didn't just steal your life. I didn't just like I didn't just freeze you like in Star Wars and then you woke up 23 years later. I put you in hell. You're fighting off sexual assault, stabbings. You don't have a family. You come out, you were a teenager when you went in, you never had kids, all this shit. Just look, I took your legacy, your life, everything away from you. My bad. Sorry. I did it because your mom pissed me off.
There is no, but yeah, right. But then you don't get that though. You don't get any of that.
No.
Imagine not getting any of that. Like no apology, nothing. Just
you get $65,000 a year.
Okay, but my mom is no longer living. I'm out of here. I don't have friends all either dead or grown, whatever.
He did get a certificate. So there's that as well.
To put on his refrigerator? Like what the fuck that's what that's what?
Then he's got to buy a refrigerator. That comes out of the $1.5 million. So
and then the time, and you gotta remember, I guess if you do 20 years now, say somebody go in 2010, come out 2030, whatever. I guess time does change a lot, but going in the 90s and coming out fucking,
it's a whole different world.
It's a whole like what?
It would take you 10 years just to kind of get the swing of like, okay, so this is a phone. Forget learning I took typing in high school. You know, people like the things that they thought the future was going to be when they were kids, like learning how to type on a keyboard and cursive and all these things. Like, so I got really good at cursive while I was in prison. It's like cursive is done. It's not even, nobody even writes anymore.
It doesn't even exist.
Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? Matter of fact, I would argue if you wrote something in cursive to somebody, it's worse for you'd be like, nobody would know what it says.
Yeah. Did he still teach cursive in school?
I hope not. Like, who even writes on paper?
That is true. That is true.
They do all their work on like a computer screen or a tablet.
Yeah. Wow.
Even the skill of writing with your hand is a lost art. Like that. Like when I was a kid, you were a kid. We were the same kids at the same time. Having good handwriting was like necessary. You needed, like, you were judged. Like your homework assignments, all these things. Man, they don't care. Handwriting quality is not even a thing that you're judged on today.
Wow. Yeah. It would be a huge learning curve to come out and go like, everything's done on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like phones have full keyboards now.
But if you budget your money right, you can live the life of a CPA or an entry-level X-ray technician for 23 years. You could live the life of somebody that makes $65,000 a year, which is not a bad life.
It's not bad.
But not if you don't have any prospects of like a job or how to, so like.
But not if you have to catch up.
Not if you got to catch up. You got to get a house. You got to get a house or a place to stay and all. So
you don't have any credit. You don't have any credit.
So you're paying cash for everything.
You got to pay cash for everything. Now you're really blowing through it.
You can't even get a furniture set at a Big Lots.
Yeah. But now you just buying shit because
credit.
You didn't have anything.
Yeah.
You get out of jail, it's like, I'll get some shoes. I'm going to get the Jordans. It's like Jordans ain't even that well. Jordans always be popular, but I mean like.
But your shit is, you're just off a little bit.
Yeah, you're just off a little bit.
So then you spend all your money on the first wave.
You got Adidas tracksuits. Like nobody wears those anymore.
So you get clowned on. You spent $20 grand on a new wardrobe. Everybody clowns you like, yo, this shit is old. You got to throw all that out, get a new wardrobe that's more current.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's trial and error. Yeah, you blowing through that money crazy.
Ooh, the stereo. We don't. Hey man,
We don't do that
we
anymore.
have fucking iPod or whatever. You know, that's crazy.
Well, you see, I bought a Crown Vic, put 40-inch subwoofers in it. Like, yo, we don't do that anymore. Like, none of that is.
Grandma Keys is not about anymore.
No wonder it was so damn expensive. I had to buy it from a guy. He said it was not only one left in rotation in the state. He charged me 3 times the cost. So you can go ahead and take that back, man. Go get you a Tesla. This was
wow. Your car is charged now? What? No, man.
Is your car plugged in? They're like,
he might be like,
yeah, man. What are you talking about? What the
it's
fuck are you talking?
like he's like at some point you probably go like, I might as well just go back.
Yeah, that was better. I don't know about that, but
Yeah, true.
I don't know. About, yeah, at least things made sense there. Somebody called me an L-mans. I don't know what they're talking about.
Get catch up on lingo and shit.
Fuck it. So
wow.
So $1.5 million. In 2018, the McIntyre family filed a federal lawsuit in the U.S. District of Kansas, stating that the unified government and several police officers were responsible for violating their civil rights. More power to them. This is nothing but facts. And if they could find that woman, Nico, to testify to say, I tried to say it wasn't him, and they told me they would throw my black ass in prison. It's done. The lawsuit accused Golubski of using his badge to extort vulnerable black women for sexual favors and coercing them into fabricating testimony to clear cases that he investigated. That is 100% what he did.
That's why he was moving up the ladder, too.
Mm-hmm. Like, this dude closes every case we put him on. He never misses.
He doesn't miss.
I'm telling you, that shit makes you think, bro. It's like Sherlock Holmes, all these really great investigators throughout history. What if they were all just racist?
Yeah.
And just lying.
And we out here dressing like.
They're like, he did it.
Making movies and shit.
They're like, how do you know? I saw that black guy doing it, something, and I said it was him. Case closed.
Case closed.
Come along, Watson. like, I didn't do it. Like, some dude being dragged up in handcuffs.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's a cold world.
What a twist in history. No, he was just lying and blaming it on black people. That's all he was doing.
Oh, good fellow. Another case closed. Let's go get us some tea and crumpets. So in 2019, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation began investigating Golubski for civil rights abuses. The Bureau, surprisingly, found no evidence of Kansas law violations that were still within the criminal statute of limitations. So there's that. So there was nothing they could charge him for because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
They shared information with authorities about possible federal violations. The FBI started sending subpoenas to KCKPD regarding allegations against Golubski.
That's insane how this had to take this long for an investigation like this. It's so insane.
Took this long. So in 2020, in a deposition for the McIntyre lawsuit, more allegations of abuse by Golubski surfaced, saying he victimized, assaulted, and harassed more than 70 women.
Wow.
Golubski denied comment 55 times throughout his deposition.
I bet he did.
So I'm going to plead the fifth. I'm not answering that question. Some of the questions he wouldn't answer were, did he have a sideline in selling drugs and facilitating prostitution while he was a police detective? So being a criminal. Were you a criminal while you were also a police officer? Did he ever get charges dismissed in return for sex? Did he ever rape a minor in his cop car? Or did he ever threaten to harm a woman if she turned him in? He denied to comment on any of these questions. Throughout the 80s and 90s, they asked if he used his network of women on the streets to provide false information to close cases. He denied to answer or comment on that question as well.
Why can't if you plead the fifth, I mean you're guilty?
Because what'd you say when we were talking? This is America, man. It's America, man. This is America. We have rights.
if you don't choose to comment on the question or answer,
it's like I think I have the answer.
It's like that should be all you need to know.
Yeah, because some of the shit is like, no, it's terrible.
No.
If I didn't do it, I would be like, no, that's awful. And don't ever accuse me of that. That's awful. Like, no comment.
No comment.
Have you ever ate human flesh? You're like, no comment.
No comment. It's like, why wouldn't you say no?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you say no? What's there to be gained from you saying no? Or what's there to be lost even? You say
Right.
no, and then what? We don't believe you? So in 2022, the unified government of Wyandotte County and Kansas City, Kansas, agreed to pay Lamont McIntyre $12.5 million to settle the civil lawsuit, which I'm more amenable to that number.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm more amenable to that number. You can really start a new life with $12.5 million for sure.
15, we can settle. 15. By 15, I'll settle.
Oh, you want? We don't even have to see. No, friend. That's the issue. A lot of these cases get settled for undisclosed amounts of money. I say take it to the wall. But again, I mean, if we want to make a difference, I want everything transparent. This is a terrible thing. I want everything out in the open. Let's take no settle.
The thing about that is when you hear this stories like this, especially the Freddie Gray situation, that he's no longer alive, he's no longer with us, and your family have to just take your it's just, and they have to settle out. It feels weird a little bit, like,
yeah,
your family have to take your side and have to fight for you in court, but they go like, they throw a number at your family goes, I mean,
I can't not take that.
How can we not take that?
Yeah. We're seeing this play out in a nastier way. I have a lot of thoughts about the Jordan Neely murder by Daniel Penny. But one thing that I have to say while we're on this topic is Jordan Neely was homeless. He allegedly was kind of estranged from his family. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not in his family. I don't know the full history.
Was that happening on the subway?
Was that happened on the subway? It's kind of been the talk of the.
Gotcha.
They had Donald Trump brought him out to the football games, smiling at him and shit. Great example. But also I was very much, and still am like, yeah, Luigi, hilarious. So it's whatever. It's everybody's contradicting. If they think he's dope, then that's their business, I guess. But I don't. But yeah, his family's gonna go and fight on his behalf. But Jordan Neely was homeless, was not in a good space, and his family's gonna go and fight on his behalf and probably settle and get a large lump sum of money.
And that's
I have some conflicting thoughts about that because they are his family, but he was in a tough spot. And I'm not saying that he didn't go over to his mom or dad's house to get a snack before he went out on the streets and was having a hard time, but he was out on the streets having a hard time. And now in his death, most likely, I would guess, there will be some sort of civil settlement. Even though Daniel Penny was found not guilty, I still think they could sue civilly and win some money. So I have my thoughts about that in these situations where it's like, sometimes people step up and just fortune finds you, like you just happen to have the same last name as this person and you can fight on their behalf and go out there and, win a case and win some money. So I have some thoughts on that. Obviously, there are cases where this was the closest person in my life. I had to watch them get murdered in cold blood on the street. Of course, I'm going to fight for their name and justice. I'm not saying I'm not saying anybody whose family member dies is ambulance chasing. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying sometimes it comes to light that like, oh, they weren't fly like that. Like this wasn't that. And they just they have to find a way to divvy up $12 million. Not this case specifically. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
In these situations.
It's touchy. It's a touchy subject. And it could be more complex than what we know because obviously families are going through something tragic or whatever. But it's just, when you think about it, it's like, I don't want to, like, say, I have a brother that I don't talk to as much. I wouldn't want to die and then like,
he come and look with his hand out.
It's like, I didn't even talk to him like that. And he come and got to represent me or whatever and get settled for like $6 million. It was like, yeah. I ain't know that dude. I ain't know him like that. We didn't talk like that.
Whatever, people can feel however they feel about this conversation, but this is a real shit, bro. I saw my family go through fucking World War III over who got to sell my grandmother's house and who got the most of the money for it.
Yeah.
The house we had Thanksgiving at, Christmas, like gatherings, all that shit. when she passed away, it was like, no, it's my name is on the I'm living in it. All this, it was like it got messy over a house, and you know where my grandmother lived. It wasn't that nice of a house.
Yeah.
Like,
and if anybody know was this the grandma that lived next door to my aunt?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Nobody, I don't think we never told this story, but before I don't know how we even found this out. Alvin's grandma lived next door. His grandma lived next door to my aunt.
Our whole lives before we even knew each other. I think you wrote. I was like, yo, I gotta go stop over to my grandmother's house, and you were like, I know this neighborhood. Where's she live? I was like, I'm hitting the lefts and the turns, and I pull up right there to the house. I was like, your aunt is her. I used to be at her house all the time. This was meant to be, bro. But yeah, no, I'm just so like I can only imagine what $12 million, what $6 million would do to my family, because I saw it. I saw it over like $200,000.
That's crazy.
So I know we like to think these people,
and that can tear a family apart.
1,000%.
Yeah.
We like to see the people on the TV in front of the microphones and my son, my brother, this and that. I'm not saying it's not true, but we all have families, and we know that sometimes that shit could be not true. And it's like, man, this person got killed in a horrible way, and now they got to see this shit from the other side. They got to see these people like lying and being like, no, my best friend, and
right.
It can get nasty, bro. So just thoughts of that kind of stuff that these settlements bring up. But thankfully, in this situation, Lamont McIntyre didn't die. He is fighting advocating for himself, and reaps the benefits of
Which
this.
Is good.
So that's
it
for
could
sure.
Probably be like, yeah, I need some money, but it's like this not about money.
Yeah, I wanted to. I'm sure it's like I want them to say I'm sorry, but if they won't do that, I'll take this as high as they can go. And then if their sorry comes in the form of money, because that's what that is. Like if the state or whoever pays you, it's like we found enough evidence to say, hey, our system fucked up, our bad. Here's $12 million.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, it could be enough to go like, you know what, I can get it.
So all right, I want this shit. I want to move on with my life. I think that's a lot of times I hear what people in these situations say, like the Central Park 5 and stuff like that. They come out, except that's a bad example because they all kept fighting. Shout out to all of them. They all continue to fight injustice and advocate for causes on their social media. So it formed who they are, but they did like move on or try to move on from like that specific incident.
Yeah.
So I mean, this kind of, so you somebody steals a chunk of your life, it changes you for sure. Like you're not just gonna move on and like move to another country and vacation for the rest of your life. You're probably gonna try to give back where you can or something.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So on September 15th, 2022, Roger Golubski was arrested by FBI agents and charged with 6 counts of depriving 2 individuals of their civil rights through sexual assault, kidnapping, and attempted kidnapping.
He probably thought he was never gonna get taken out for this.
For sure, bro. It's like the Golden State Killer when they wheeled him out. He was like old as hell. Like, what? No, I thought I got away with it. They fucking pulled that Scooby-Doo mask off of him. That's how they got to feel like.
You thought you was about to die in peace?
You try to pull the old man tactic, like, "Hello, officer. Are you guys here for a donation?" Like, no, man. You know what's up. Give me your wrist. Whatever do you mean? Good heavens, man. You a straight up cold-blooded killer.
Yeah. You thought you was going to take this to the grave. No.
Fuck that. So the next day after he was arrested, federal prosecutors suggested that there were at least 7 more victims and laid out how he engaged in a pattern of kidnapping and sexually assaulting women and girls as young as 13 years old while threatening them into silence.
Shaking my head, man.
Insane. So in 13 years old, probably runaways, girls that needed help, slipped through the cracks of the system, and they ran into fucking Roger Golubski.
Oh, shit.
Golubski's trial date was set to begin on Monday, December 2nd of this year.
Wow.
On December 2nd, 2024, Golubski died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
No.
So that means that he was out on bond.
Wow.
Or something, like they let him be at home by himself.
Wow.
Until his trial date.
Oh, yeah. He was like, fuck this.
Man. On the day
of. Say sorry? I would rather die.
I want to make sure people hear that. His trial was set to begin on Monday, December 2nd of this year. That day, he shot himself.
I would rather die.
and waited up to the day. It's almost a spit in the face to wait, like people putting suits on, getting ready to go to trial and testify, and he did it that day. His death led U.S. District Judge Toby Kraus to dismiss the charges at the prosecutor's request, though a second criminal case involving 3 other co-defendants remain.
Wow.
So that might be against other officers. But the big shark, the big whale, the big booger, Roger Golubski, unalived himself the day of his trial a couple of weeks ago. In this
Full
year.
Transparency, I missed that part. That's why I'm so shocked.
Like, what?
I didn't
That's
see
great.
that part.
It makes for great podcasting.
I didn't read that part of the story.
It makes for great podcasting.
Wow.
Yeah, wild stuff. So a long career of horrible things, abhorrent things, traumatizing people, and the day of his trial, he unalived himself before anybody could see any real justice. But that tells you all you need to know. I know you have issues with this sometimes. You're like, people don't get their day in court and they didn't get their justice, but like that tells you all you need to know about his charges.
Yeah.
That was the story of Roger Golubski, a Kansas native and a real certified grade A piece of shit.
You think I'm gonna go to jail? Number one, no, not happening. You want me to say sorry?
You think I'm gonna let these fucking black animals sit in front of me and yell at me on a witness stand and call me all kind of names? Fuck
I don't
that.
See them cry. No.
That's fucking sick. That's fucking sick.
You know, how they get over like, you hurt my family, this and that. Nobody died, but still they go, you hurt my family, you damaged our family, you put me in prison, you ruined my whole life. I don't want to see.
I'm not trying to hear all that shit. No, you think about it like that, that's extra evil.
Yeah.
So that was the story of Roger Golubski. Before we get out of here, man, Fran, any recommendations as we go into the holiday? I don't know. Now I'm looking at the calendar. This might be the last episode of 2025. I don't know. Maybe, possibly. I mean, it's pretty late into December. We'll see.
I started watching. No, I'm gonna try to remember. Hold on. Carry On. Boom. There it is.
Did you finish it?
I didn't finish it. No.
Oh,
I started watching.
Fran,
I started watching.
My man, Pots and Pans.
Yeah, man.
A fun one.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. I wouldn't accuse.
You finished it?
Yeah, it's a movie.
God damn it, man.
How far did you? When you started? It's an action movie.
Yeah,
How much
I gotta watch it, bro. Sometimes the movie start watching me as I go to sleep.
Sometimes the movies start watching me.
You know, on Netflix, you still there? Like, Fran, what's going on? You still there? I'm gone.
Netflix like, hey, you about to love this part. Hey, Fran, hey, Fran. Wait.
I'm gone. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna finish it tonight. But so far, so good. It's just. What's his name? What's the main guy's name?
His real name?
Yes.
I don't know his movie name. His name is Taron Egerton.
No, not him.
Oh, you talking about Jason Bateman? Yeah. Ozark.
I wish they would have put somebody else. I can't.
My girl said the same thing. She said she can't see him as evil. He's not.
Yeah. I'm like.
Yeah.
That's my only problem so far. I'm like, it's him. I just can't picture him.
I like him for the cat and mouse, I'm smarter than you thing that they did, but there are some scenes where he has to get his hands dirty, they fight, and I'm like, no, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's him. I'm like,
not for spoilers, but I don't think it's a spoiler to be like, at some point he's like, I'm gonna intimidate you, and I'm like, you're not intimidated. I like you being smart on the phone and being like, I already planned all this out. He's good for that for me. Sure. But him having to get his hands dirty, I'm like, I don't know about all that.
It doesn't fit him. That's my only.
He's very much a corporate guy. Like he really should be on the phone in a tower somewhere with a business suit on.
Yeah.
Him even being this close to the action, I'm like, if this shit really went down, I don't believe you could beat up 5 cops.
Yeah, when he was in the bathroom and he was like washing his hands, I'm like, this doesn't fit. I've seen you in other movies and this doesn't fit. That's my only problem.
I've seen him flinch too many times in movies when somebody who's of average size pops their fist at him.
Didn't he play in like a movie with like he's like a family, like a RV? Was he in that RV movie?
Yeah, I think he was in Meet the Johnsons or what is not Horrible Bosses. He was in Horrible Bosses, but yeah, with Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, that's more what I see him. That
wasn't him though. That was the dude from
The Switch. The Switch.
Ryan Reynolds.
The Switch.
Callback. That's a callback. Yeah, shout out to Ryan Reynolds.
I did it on purpose.
Sometimes it all ties back in.
Yeah.
But
he got beat up in Identity. He was in Identity. Yeah, especially that movie where he was getting his ass whooped by that lady. That's why I'm like, and I see him in this, I go like, bro, this ain't you, bro.
Yeah, Come on, bro. You're not Jason Statham.
You're not Jason Statham, bro. Stop.
He's like, now if you
bro,
move again, I'm gonna have to break your arm, and then your arm's gonna be broken.
Yeah,
You have to go to the hospital. You're not even talking. He can talk.
Yeah, bro. It's like, you ain't Liam Neeson, bro. Stop it. I can't. It's just, it don't fit, bro. It don't fit. But yeah, that's I'm currently watching that.
It's a fun movie though.
I liked it.
No disrespect.
It's a bit slow for me in the beginning.
And my critique would be, and this is, I'm gonna try to watch my words. I don't want to offend, right?
Okay.
I just don't think that the airport runs this efficiently. Like when they started the morning off, they had the morning report, and the chief of TSA was. I'm like, when I show up to the airport, it doesn't feel like they just got done having a briefing about.
Yeah, when they walked out, I said, is this a thing? They like walk out in a team.
But let's do it, guys. Let's have a good day.
Yeah, it's like a basketball team.
I was like, I just kind of feel like they show up. Maybe I'm wrong. They are agents, I guess. But I was like, there's a room in the airport where they all having like
the meeting.
Yeah, I'm like it's the police. Like we're gonna really focus on drug bust.
They got agendas for the day.
Yeah, I was like,
goals.
I don't know, man. Like. Okay, if you say so.
Maybe.
It felt like a very pro TSA movie, but I'm not against that. But it was a lot of like, you guys are taking so fucking long, and somebody would be like, hey, they're doing their job. Yeah. And like wink at the camera. I'm like, all right, I get it, bro. It's, be nice to TSA people. Yeah. I'm not against that, but I was like, I just don't know if it runs like this. I could be wrong. Yeah. At one point, the boss, the TSA chief is like in a command center, like where he can look and see all of the people doing their job. I'm like, I never seen that. I never seen the command center.
Well, we wouldn't know that.
That's behind baseball.
It's
behind baseball. That's true.
Yeah.
This all could be operating in front of my very eyes, and I got my headphones on. I'm not paying attention. I'm half asleep. So that's very true. I will
faking asleep.
I'll fake asleep in a heartbeat in the airport. I will add that caveat of like, I am the least aware person in an airport, so this all could be happening in front of me, and I wouldn't notice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm only watching that. Hey, I told you, I texted you. I was like, I'm coming with the heat when the movie's 2025. Man.
Please do. I respect it.
I'm trying to, especially Netflix. Netflix been having heat lately. I'm like, no, I gotta tap in.
Netflix been coming with it.
I gotta tap in with some of this heat on Netflix.
It's a show on there. I haven't started it yet, but I just added it to my list. It's called 1992. Just the trailer. I'm like, oh, this shit looks great. It's about a killer who like burns his victims, and I think his face is burned or something.
That sounds good.
It looks scary, but it's when I read the description, I'm like, this isn't a horror movie. This is like a serial killer type of thing. So I should be able to watch it and not be scared, but it looks kind of scary. So that's my other recommendation. I haven't watched it yet, obviously, but I think I'm going to check that out soon. Also, I never got to talk about it, or I just didn't think about it. Alien Romulus is one of the best movies I've seen this year. It's a sequel to the Alien movies, but also kind of a prequel. I thought it was well done. The guy that plays the robot, fantastic. Highly recommended. It's available to stream on Hulu right now. Alien is coming with a whole fleet of new things. They got a TV show coming out. I think there's going to be other movies. The Alien franchise is rebirthed in a really cool way, and I highly recommend Alien Romulus.
Alien. Those are the ones that do Alien versus Predator?
They're the ones that do Alien versus Predator. The thing comes out of their chest and all that type of stuff. So now the technology is the future. So now the special effects is nothing now. Like that's easy. So now they can really focus on story structure and all that type of shit, because they can bring whatever crazy idea in their mind to life with technology now. Ridley Scott back in 1970, he only had limited abilities. Now it's like, now you can make the alien, it's like making them jump out of people's chests, making them be morphed with humans. You could do whatever you want to. So it's now they're really going after it. So a lot of these movies are being rebirthed in a really cool way. And I would recommend, before we get out of here, to the old Hollywood, give up, bro. We don't want to see the Mummy or the Frankenstein or the Invisible Man. We want to see all the cool shit, man. We want to see Predator, Alien. We want to see the new monsters. Stop trying to make the old monsters cool again. I don't want to watch a Wolfman movie.
Well, make it a tad bit realistic. I kind of can't sit here watching the bullshit where it's like, yeah, this doesn't.
Yeah, I don't want to watch.
Make me believe this can actually happen. Yeah, I don't want to sit and watch. I can't sit and watch shit that's super fake. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. And they keep trying to make these 5 monster movies come back. And it just, I don't care about Frankenstein, bro. I don't care. I don't care about the Wolfman. I don't care about the Invisible Man. I don't care about the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Who's the Invisible Man? That's the guy with the glasses and a hat. Who's that?
Well, they made a modern version of it. He's an invisible. It's almost like he's Elon Musk, and he makes a machine. He domestic violences his girlfriend, but then he pretends.
But he doesn't walk around with like his hat and sunglasses floating.
At some point, he probably does put a coat on and is like a floating coat. You know, all them dumb jokes that they put in the movies and stuff. Like, I don't want to watch that shit, man. I'm over that shit. Frankenstein, all that. I'm done. Chucky, bring Chucky back. All
Chucky,
the monsters
classic,
all the
man.
monsters that I grew up with, or grew
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Damn. Leprechaun. We don't gotta go to the hood, but Leprechaun, I wouldn't be mad if Leprechaun came back. He could stay out of the hood.
Let him ride through the hood.
The hood got crazy. Ice-T
The
was
hood
in
got
one of
crazy?
them. Yeah, Ice-T was in one of them. Why is Ice-T here? Anyway, guys, listen.
Ice-T.
You got me off on
He was in that movie?
Yeah, he was like, man, got this Leprechaun, got this gold flute.
Oh. Was he? Did he have
He
like
was a
limited?
pimp.
He had limit. Oh no, he had like a major role. I can't remember.
Yeah, he was like he found the Leprechaun and he used his gold flute to like try to make records because if anybody that listened to the flute, it was like a hit song.
That's how it went. That sounds terrible.
I don't know the plot of Leprechaun.
Yeah, that sounds. I remember that.
He's like, bring me back me gold flute.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Don't bring that back.
Don't bring that back. But like,
Not in the hood. No.
yeah, no, but Predator, Alien movies, those are two. I'm like, yeah, man, I want to see all of these over and over again. Put
What
them in
about
different
Edward
times.
Scissorhands? He
wasn't a monster. He was a tortured soul. He was a nice guy.
Just was nice.
He wasn't. That was the whole point of the movie, that he wasn't a monster. You didn't get it. You
I
missed
used
the
to
whole
love
point.
that movie. I used to love him.
That was the point. You should have loved him. He was a nice guy.
Just walk around hair all fucking.
Yeah, he was scared,
spiky looking.
but then he
long.
could cut other people's hair. He was talented.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you weren't supposed to be scared of him. That was the whole point of the movie.
I used to love that movie.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, an iteration on Frankenstein. I like that. Don't make Frankenstein, but make some new shit. That's kind of like you're doing a nod to it, but do your own thing. Because Edward Scissorhands is kind of like Frankenstein.
Yeah. Hey, quick though. You know what I watched the other day?
What?
You know what I put on? I put on classic Home Alone. Right before I was about to put it on, my son goes, "You know they got a Home Alone." I said, "That one is whack." He goes, "No, it ain't." I said, "Yes, it is."
That's the one he grew
We
up
sat
with.
here and argued for like 5 minutes.
What, like Home Alone 6?
No, some bullshit. Home Alone was like Home Alone. I don't know whatever one was. Some random. They got like some new kid, like some chubby kids.
You arguing with him?
That's whack. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
It's good. I was like, no, it's not.
Man, if it ain't Mac, it's whack.
It ain't Mac. Well,
Straight
the other
up.
one is okay.
The one with the 3?
Yes,
That might be
was,
low key one of my favorite ones.
That was low key one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
low key. Home Alone 3 is kind of fire.
No, that was shit was God.
I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, but Home Alone 3, I probably
No,
would take that. I might take it over Lost in New York. I might take that one over Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, if I'm being honest.
You know what? You get a nah. You sold me on that one. We agree on that one.
That's what that means?
You get the dong.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know the dong meant that when you spit facts, you get the dong.
Now it do. No, when you spit facts, I gotta hit the dong because you wanted someone that one. You know what? I agree with you 100%. You can throw that at the number 3, man.
Yeah. Home Alone 2, put 2 at 3.
Home Alone 2, yeah.
Put 1 at 1, 3 at 2.
1 at 1, 3
and
at 2.
2 at 3.
Yeah.
That's
New
facts.
York it was okay.
It was all right. It had some moments. That
Yeah.
last sequence with going back to the shit from the first one, going in the house and all that shit. But all the shit in between, you miss me with all that shit. You miss me with all of that shit and hotels and eating ice cream and limousines and shit. I miss me with all that shit.
Great.
Home Alone 3, boom. With that being said, happy holidays, folks. Merry Christmas, happy
Merry
Hanukkah,
Christmas.
all that stuff. But the next episode will be after Christmas, I believe. Like, I don't want to
Is it?
I don't want to misrepresent. We're recording full transparency. Today is the 17th. But when this episode's out, it'll be like 4 days until Christmas. So
Yeah.
this might be the last episode of the year. Maybe not on Patreon. I might put some Patreon stuff out, but this might be the last public episode out until the top of the year 2025. If it is, if you don't hear from us, maybe a mini-sode. If you don't hear from us, definitely a mini-sode. But if you don't hear from us in this format, we want to say Merry Christmas to you, Happy New Year, and let's go into 2025 with big energy, Fran. Give them something.
Big energy, and I think I'm gonna put the pressure on us right now. We got some plans coming for 2025 for the Patreon.
Yes.
And we're not waiting until July, August.
No.
We coming
top of the year.
First quarter number 1.
Q1.
We got some things coming.
Big things.
I'm putting the pressure on us right now, so we have to.
I like that.
Commit.
Big aspirations, big goals, interactions, all that type of stuff. 2025, we plan for a big year.
We have news coming. Once we in the process of
working on some
that,
news.
so,
we can leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah. So happy holidays to you guys and all of those things. And, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all those things. And I tell you what, man, we wish you nothing but the best. And if we don't see you in 2024, we hope you have a great 2024 to wrap things up, and we'll see you guys next year.
Deuces.